This isn't just the first ever meeting between the two teams. This is also the first time the Cavaliers are facing a non-Power 4 or 5 opponent since 2021. Regular season finale, primetime matchup. I mean, could you write it up any better? And this is me starting a petition that we start joining the winning team at the Tasty Freeze for some ice cream. Do they still do it? I'm not sure. I have yet to ask. I need to ask. But if they do, I am there. I think we deserve it. Tony Bennett's press conference just wrapping up behind me. Lots of people in the room there earlier today, and they want to play baseball, but maybe they're too scared or they don't know what people are going to think about them if they play. What would you say to them? I don't know about where you're at, but the student section here, I'm looking at them over here. They showed up like it's a Friday night. I'm kind of impressed for a Thursday night game. In that first game, it was the freshman Jacob Kofi with a huge debut, but tonight it was K-State transfer Day Ames and them winning in overtime. It was so awesome for them. I was kind of getting a little teary-eyed when I was out there like recording them. Just about 3 weeks left of the regular season. It's crazy to say out loud. Actually, in the second half, Elijah Saunders recording a new career high 22 points today. This Ohanian decided it was his time to invest in women's hoops, and what better school than his alma mater.
People still feel that, girls belong at home. It's like, well, they belong at first, second, and third too.
Vanessa Goodwin of the Central Little League is making history. She was part of the first 96, invited to the first ever Marie Pepe Legacy Series, where she got to play in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, home of the Little League World Series.
She was in her happy place. She was relaxed. She was confident. She was having fun.
When someone tells you, Vanessa, you made history, what do you think? Like, how do you feel about that?
I feel like happy and honored that I made history. But at the same time, we shouldn't have to make history. We should already be allowed to play.
Because when Vanessa plays, she's still just like any other player on the team.
Vanessa has a really powerful swing, and there have been multiple times where, she's just hitting the ball just as hard as any of our other teammates.
But there's still some people who think that Vanessa or her mom mean to say she plays softball.
Sometimes Vanessa will say, no, I play with boys. It's baseball.
Which makes others around her turn their heads.
With other kids that haven't seen her before, realizing, hey, that's a girl, and she's in an all-star uniform. And then she goes in the dugout, and she comes out and goes up to bat and, hits a hard hit line drive, and, yeah, eyes get wide.
What would you say to other young girls your age, maybe they're younger, and they want to play baseball, but maybe they're too scared or they don't know what people are going to think about them if they play? What would you say to them?
Well, you should always try, because if you don't try, you don't know what will happen.
And maybe you can make history too. Keara Bruno, CBS 19 Sports.
Always be encouraged. Never feel like you have to prove anything. You're in the room because you belong in the room.
That room for Sarana Hyatt is in the Monticello wrestling gym.
So being able to be in the room for the girls and see someone that looks like her is very important.
Just 4 years ago, there were only 4 members total. Now there's 6 girls on the team.
The fact that she is a female is someone that can directly relate to our growing number of female student athletes in the sport of wrestling has been just an added bonus.
And now those young female wrestlers have a woman in the room to look up to.
That they can say, hey, I can do that. I can do anything I set my mind to. I can be a leader. I can be a mentor, to others in my future.
She's like telling us not to be scared of the dudes. They got on the mat with us. We got on the mat with them.
During practices, Hyatt is also hands-on.
Hey, I'm still a heavyweight. If you can pin me and I got 100 pounds on you, you can pin anyone. And anyone means anyone.
But there still may be some times where that's not the case.
At one tournament last year, I had a dude forfeit because he didn't want to go against a girl, so he gave up 6 points for his team.
So Hyatt's piece of advice: once they enter this wrestling gym or any of the other ones that they compete in, they're just like the rest of the wrestlers there, competitors. And that they simply belong, which is something she's learned throughout her coaching experience so far.
I don't need to prove anything to anyone because we are where we're meant to be, and I'm in the room to give a perspective that perhaps no one else can give.
In Charlottesville, Keara Bruno, CBS 19 Sports. Thomas is from Pittsburgh, and what a welcome home moment for him in the Steel City. Got some Thursday night football for you, not NFL football, but some high school football. And Eli Bennett may not be the only practice player fans can see on the court this season. Huge plays on both sides of the ball led to 18 unanswered points in the second half. I'd say these Cavaliers are feeling pretty good about being back out on this floor tonight because this is their first game in 9 days, and where the defense is on their A game, but the offense, not so much. This team not always consistent. She reminds all of us that no matter where we are, women belong in the room too. Cavaliers and Eagles battling all the way down the stretch with Elijah Saunders and Tane Murray coming up big in the clutch.